Satnam Aloha, everybody. Welcome to the winter solstice meditation in class. So what we're going to do is we're going to tune in first, and then we'll talk about the winter solstice chart according to human design, and then look at Jupiter, because Jupiter just ingressed into a whole new sign, the sign of Aries, and then we'll do the meditation. Okay, so I'll timestamp all of this for future reference. Okay, so we're going to tune in with the Adi mantra, right, for the tradition of Kundalini Yoga and meditation. Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. And so Ong Namo Gurudev Namo, that means I'm calling upon my own inner teacher, my own inner guru, because everything you need is already inside you. You have your own sage, your own teacher, right? Guru is that which brings you from the darkness of the ego into the light of your soul, of the self, okay? So if you don't know the words, that's okay, right? Your intent is just I'm longing to be with my soul right now, okay? So bring your hands into prayer pose, but rub them first. Feel the heat between your hands. And eyes are closed. And just take a few long, deep breaths through your nostrils. And relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your temples. And setting your intent to bring all your energy into this present now moment. So not thinking about the past, not thinking about the future. Just surrender to this experience. And setting your intention to receive this energy, this divine energy that's brought us all together today. And setting your intention to be your authentic self in this lifetime. Right? Which means to love yourself, means to accept yourself, warts and all. Okay. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale to the base of the spine. Exhale. And inhale to tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Namo Gurudev Namo. And inhale deeply. Suspend the breath and press your palms together and bring your focus to your third eye, the point between your brows, and channel the energy up. And exhale and relax your hands down. Great. Okay. So we got a few people here online, more than a few. Yeah. Okay. We're going to talk about all that, Rachel Reed. I've never felt worse this solstice. What's going on? There's a lot going on. Okay. So you want to make sure that you've got some water, right, with you. I've got my Zevia, but I've got water too over here. And comfortable, right, for the meditation. It's very, very powerful meditation. One of my favorites. So let me just get the images up here. You know how I love working with images. So happy winter solstice. So this is the return of the light, right? The winter solstice is the return of the light. So let's talk about spirituality, because that's what I'm all about. It's the light, or the sun, right? The return of the sun is really the return of the self, the higher self. So we've been in this pressure, right? Pressure, this dark tunnel. And what's the purpose of this, we've got summer solstice, and then that's the diminishment of the light, right? And what is that forcing us to do? It's forcing us to go inside and connect to our own inner light, to find our own inner light. There's an inner light in there, right? As above, so below. There's the sun, and it's a reflection of us. We too have our own inner sun. And so this is the return of the self, right? It's the return of the self, which is good news. That's why the ancients, right, so revered this time. And some have said even our religions are based on the winter solstice and the return of the sun, right? So this is about discovering the light within, right? Discovering your own inner light. What is light? It's information. What's light is love, right? Love. Love's not an emotion. People think love's an emotion. Love is the underlying foundation of everything. It's who we are. So we're going to get into this because Jupiter in the chart, the human design chart. So this is really a time of self-awareness, right? Winter solstice. So more self-awareness will be coming in for you. So let's look at the chart here. Right. So there's the winter solstice. That's the Mandela. I left the Mandela version. So you can see here that, right, that the sun, do you see the sun? The glyph here of the sun is in the 10, is in the 10th gate. And the 10th gate is here. So this center here is yourself. It represents the self in the chart. So you have your natal chart too. So if you have the 10, you're going to relate to this. I have the 10 actually in my self node. So every winter solstice, the sun will be in the 10th gate, right? It's going to be in the 10th gate. So this is the gate of the behavior of the self, right? So this is about accepting and loving your unique self. This has nothing to do with the ego, right? With ego, it's about being different. You know, everybody's got long hair, so I'm going to have short hair. Everybody's wearing these clothes, so I'm going to wear these clothes. It's all a reaction. That's the ego. Your unique self doesn't care about any of that stuff. Get the ego out of the way, and you're your unique self, right? So this is this gate, just briefly, because I don't want to spend too much time on this, is the behavior of the self. The behavior of the self, this 10. If you have the 10, or if you have a child that has the 10, you don't need to teach that child how to behave. They just naturally know how to behave. This is not about complying and getting in line and, an obedience. This is like they're just in tune, right? They're in tune with their environment, and they're behaving from their unique self, right? Their unique self. So really the actions, this gate is really telling us that there's actions that come from the ego, right? The actions that come from the ego. This is about stepping over people's boundaries. It's about the hierarchy. I'm better than you. I'm less than you. It's about taking no accountability, taking no responsibility. Now, interestingly enough, I'm just going to dig up the 2022, because the new year, remember the new year doesn't happen until that sun comes into the 41st gate. So that's January 22nd usually. So it's January 22nd, 2023. I'm doing a whole webinar on a review of 2022 and then what's coming for 2023. So I looked at the 2022 chart, and that's an imprint. So it gives us the themes that we're working through as a collective. And the 10 was in the Mars position this year. And that's all about our conditioning. So we live in an information field, right? These are based on the neutrino stream, right? This chart. So it influences our behavior as a collective. So if you're not in your unique self, you're just kind of carried along with the current of this energy, okay? And so it's in the Mars position. So this was about action. So did we not see actions coming from ego, right? Actions coming from ego with people in 2022, taking no accountability, right? Taking no responsibility. This is the narcissistic shadow, right? The 10, it's being obsessed with the self, my needs, and I don't care about anybody else. It's just about me, self-serving, right? We've totally saw those kinds of actions coming from ego in this year, and taking no accountability, no responsibility, right? So, and that was in the first line. So you can see here with the chart, right, is see the 10.2. So there's usually a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, but it was in the 0.1 in the 2022 chart, and so that was about you, right? It's about you. So hopefully you were acting from a place of integrity, acting from yourself, right? Actions coming from what's right and true for you, right? What's right and true for you. So this has to do with our relationships, right? With this winter solstice chart here. So it ties in. Bear with me here. There's a tie in here. So let's look at Jupiter. So we're in winter solstice energy right now. So this is good news. Light's coming. So there's going to be relief. There's going to be relief. And the meditation's going to really help speed that up for you. So let's look at Jupiter. Speaking of guru, right? Jupiter's the guru planet. That which brings you from the darkness of the ego into the light of awareness. So this is expansion, right? Everybody loves a Jupiter transit, right? It expands wherever it touches in your chart. It expands it. So what we don't realize, because this isn't about enlightenment, it's about spirituality, Jupiter. And what we don't realize sometimes is like, well, why I didn't get the expansion. I got all this loss. Well, Jupiter brings loss too. And what's it doing? It's like taking away things that are not authentic to you. But that's a good thing. So look at where you've experienced loss in your life, especially this year, right? Because this was the culmination point, right? It's benefit. It benefits us. That's what Jupiter's all about, that. It's benefits. So, okay, so let's look here. You can see there's the 25. I don't want to confuse people here. So Jupiter's in the 25.2. Okay? I'm going to take this slow so people can understand here. So this is the mandala. So you can see the zodiac, right? The Aries, blah, 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 all over here. So in 2011, this is where Jupiter was, in this 25, right? So in Aries. And it's got, in human design, it's got a little bit of Pisces in it too, right? Because it's on the cusp. So it was there in 2011, and then it had traveled around, right? And it takes 11, 12 years for Jupiter to travel around the sun. So this is the mandala. So it traveled all around here. And then it comes back to 0 degrees Aries. And this is 25.2. So that's what it's in right now. So this is really good news. So you can see it was in Pisces, right? This year. It took a little dip in the pool, right, in Aries, and then it went retro. Remember, it was retrograde, and then it moved back into Pisces, and this was so karmic, right? Because Pisces is the end, right? It's the end. It's very, very karmic. So that's what we were feeling. Rachel Reed was mentioning that, right? That's what we were feeling. It's like, rules Neptune, that's the ocean. It's like you're in the ocean and you're just like, what the hell is going on, right? I can't see. There's no clarity. I'm surrounded by fog. There's nothing to hold on to, right? That's Pisces, because it dissolves everything. And all you can do, right? You're in your boat. You don't even have an oar. Right? You don't have a sail. You're just in the middle of the ocean. Well, what do? All you can do is surrender, right? All you can do is surrender. This is Pisces. And there's Jupiter, and they're expanding it, right? And it's the ancient ruler of Pisces is Jupiter, right? And then Neptune's the modern ruler. So that's what we were in. So now it's in Aries, and Aries is all about forward movement, and it's starting a whole new cycle, right? So like I said in my newsletter, it's what's been going on for you since 2011. Well, you've been learning. Jupiter is the teacher, right? So you've been learning for these past 11 years about something, some kind of theme. But the good news is it's over, right? You got the certificate, you got the diploma, you learned something. Hopefully you learned something that made you grow, right? And expand your awareness, right? So let's talk about this 25 that it's in, right? And so this is so beautiful, you know, how the planets in the energy were all set up, you know? So this is the gate of love of spirit. It's love of the self, right? Because it's coming from the self. There's where the sun is, and that's where Jupiter. This is launching, right? This is the launch. So it's the 25, right? So it's about our innocence. It's about our innocence. And this is what we're learning. Like the end game that we're in right now, we're in a transitional point in our human evolution, right? As we come into the Aquarian age, as we move into this new cross of the sleeping phoenix that's happening in 2027, it's all about yourself. It's all about the self, like going within and loving the self. So I love this because it's the gifts of acceptance and universal love. Those are the gifts of this 25. And it's the shadow of constriction. It's the shadow of constriction. So this is another point, like Jupiter is going to really show us where we're constricted, And what is the shadow of constriction? It's fear. It's the frequency of fear. And it gets crystallized, and then it gets experienced as pain in the body. So you can really work with this shadow, and it affects your breathing, right? So check in with your belly right now. Are you breathing long and deep? Chances are you're not, right? We haven't been taught to breathe properly, right? So with this constriction, you can work with this pain, like to reframe it. This is about going deeper into the self, right? Deeper into the self, not staying in the surface of life, right? There's worm tongue up there. That's the ego. He represents the ego. Not staying in the surface of life, going into the deeper self, right? So with this, so reframe it like, no, I'm not having physical pain. This shadow is showing me that I have fear, that I need to work through. And it doesn't make sense to the mind. Well, that doesn't make sense. It's right? It's pain. I've got to go to the doctor. I got to go get a pill or something. It's like, no, reframe it. That it's actually fear that's wanting to move through your body. And remember, right now, we're making the unconscious conscious, right? We're making the unconscious conscious for this time. We're making the invisible visible. We're making the shadow into the light, right? Everything is turning upside down for this new age of Aquarius and the cross of the sleeping phoenix. So Jupiter is setting the new lesson, right? And this is our lesson. This is what we've been learning for the last... Bougie, just sat. Come here. He's barking. So this is setting our lesson, and our lesson is to learn to love ourselves, to learn to accept ourselves. Love ourselves not in a narcissistic way. That's the ego, but to truly love ourselves. And we've been conditioned not to love ourselves. We've been conditioned not to accept ourselves and our uniqueness, right? This is, you can see where one storyline is. This is the storyline. Jupiter's about our new story. One storyline is taking us into, like, we're just this blob of sameness. We're just a blob of sameness, right? Homogenization. That's the conditioning field. But the cross of the sleeping phoenix is telling us, it's like, no, it's time to be your unique self. Time to be your unique self and to accept. And you can't, what we do is we want other people to accept us, right? And validate who we are. But we need to do that for ourselves, right? And then this city is universal love. That's the gift, right? This is what we really want, right? The ego thinks it's, oh, I'm looking for happiness. through these things or this perfect partner or this job or more money, whatever the ego wants, but really it wants this. It wants universal love, right? You do. And what do you really want? You want yourself, right? You want yourself back, right? So this is to be a conduit for universal love. That's what we really want, right? So this is unconditional love. This is love without condition, right? That's what universal love is. So it's in the second line you see here, right? And this is dedication to being in the present now moment, right? That's where you're going to find universal love. You're not going to find it in the mind, fantasizing about the future, reflecting on the past. It's all about being in the present now moment. That's where the love is. That's the foundation of our whole experience, right? So the second line is also about our relationships, right? So you can't love somebody else until you love yourself. You've heard that. It's an old chestnut. It's so true. So it's really about embracing our innocence, right? Embracing our innocence. So just to remind people, right, that we're evolving. We've been in this physical awareness, right? This is our awareness, how we experience the world. We've been in that. We mastered that. Now we're in this mental awareness system. This is coming to an end. We've taken the mind as far as it can go. This is what all these gadgets are about, right? The internet and our iPhones and our technology is coming to a pinnacle. It's coming to the pinnacle, and then we move into the emotional awareness system. And that's what we're in now. And if you leave with anything today, this is where to go. If you're having anxiety at night, right, worrying and fretting about the future because there's so much uncertainty, it's to go into your feelings, right? That's where the movement will happen. That's where the change will happen on the external world. In the external world is when you allow movement, authentic movement. That means to feel what's going on for you. And this is what we're being pressured. We're going to get more and more pressure in 2023 on this emotional body. People are losing it emotionally. Mental health issues are going to start coming up, right? I looked at the chart for 2023. More of this because people are clinging to the mind, right? And it's time to let go. And it's through this emotional work, right? This is inner child work, 0 to 7 years old. That's where to focus your energy. And then the solar plexus mutation happens through the emotional body and then brings us to spirit awareness. This is the new awareness system. It's being connected, the all one. And what connects us is our emotions. That's what connects us all, right? So it's an exciting time. And what else did I want to say about this Jupiter? Yeah, it's about our new storyline. So really, what is losing energy in your life right now? Like it happened in 2011. I remember it personally myself. It's like something was changing. Very important relationships in my life were changing in 2011. And then it took me on this crazy journey, right? And I'm sure you can feel the same. Whatever was in your life, what were you learning? Right? And now you've gained this wisdom and it's yours, right? That's wisdom. It's not knowledge. Knowledge can be argued. It's all about the mind, but wisdom cannot be argued away because it's yours. It's your lived experience, right? So really claim that, And then it's time for, okay, where is the energy right now? Where is it dropping? Where are the doors opening? Where are the doors closing for me? And to love yourself through it. That's what Jupiter is saying, to love yourself through this. Okay. So next, I want to talk about this unconscious mind, missing the U here. And let me just see. I just want to see any comments before we get into the unconscious mind and then the meditation. Okay. Happy solstice, everybody. Okay. And Merry Christmas. Yeah. And Rachel Reed, I think I addressed that, why we Felt pressured, yeah, okay. Satnam, Satnam. Okay. The other thing to remember too with these transits, I don't think I talk about this enough, is right? So you can connect your chart. I'm getting the big information to start doing relationship charts, and so that brings a whole other thing, right? When you bring somebody's natal chart, human design and Western astrology together with some another person, right? It's like you almost create another entity. But also you are in connection with the transit chart, right? So this is the transit, and you've got your natal chart, just like astrology. So if you've got that 51, I have the 51 here, but I don't have the 25. Well, what that does, that transit activates the self and your willpower, the heart, right? It's called ego in human design. I don't like to call it that though. The ego is more the mind to me, being a yogi, right? But this is the channel of initiation, right? So this gets activated, and this is about being initiated into a whole new experience. So look at that too with the 51, and you would have that, that transit. So just to remember that it's not your energy. You know what I mean? Like your natal chart is what you can count on. That's what is authentic to you. But you can use this influence, right? If you're aware and connected, it's like, this is me, but I'm feeling this energy, right? And that's the transit. Don't be thinking, oh, this is me and this is forever me. It's like, no, I'm just being influenced right now, but I'm going to harness this energy. I'm going to use this energy, right? So this is going somewhere new. So it's using your willpower to jump into that 25, and that's the love of the self, right? 51 is like shock, right? I'm being shocked. It's like the tower and the tarot card into a whole other new chapter in my life, right? So look at that too. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if you have the 25, Lori's asking, what does it mean if you have the 25 there in your chart? You're going to really relate, right? You're going to relate to Jupiter. That means Jupiter is activating, right? That means Jupiter transit is activating your 25. So it's going to be even more up for you. And the thing is, it's going to show you the shadow. It will expand the shadow of where you're constricted, right? So it's the constriction in the body can be constricted in, like, look at your external life, wherever there's constriction, right? Maybe money's not flowing in, maybe the relationships aren't flowing in, something not flowing in. Jupiter's going to show you. It's like a big magnifying glass. It's going to show you in your life where the shadow of constriction is playing out. It's like things aren't flowing, right? So just a practical thing to do, Lori, is check with your breathing. You can't be in the present now moment when you're not breathing. When you're not breathing, and we shallow breathe all the time, right? You get on the internet, there's always a pause in the breath. Watch your pet, how your pet breathes, right? There's no pause, right? There's no pause. I like that playing words. There's no pause in their breath. And that means you're bringing more and more of your spirit and the self into your physical form, right? That's where your wisdom is, right? That's where your innocence is. That's where your guidance is, your nurturing. All that is in the present now moment. So we'll activate if you have the 25 already. It's going to like double down. You're going to really, really feel it with Jupiter there too. Okay, so let's talk about the unconscious mind. Okay. Okay. Yeah, stick around, Zen Jen. I fell into this channel by accident, and there's no accidents. It's just spirituality. I know I don't know anything about astrology, but I'm very spiritual. I love to more about the sounds of what you're like speaking Latin, but I'm going to keep listening. Yeah. And I've got lots of other videos too. This is all about evolution, right? Just for Zen here, right? This is your natal chart. You can get your free chart. Go to jovianarchive.com. Okay. Zen Jen. And I have an intro recorded readings that I have too. So that's like your kind of your doorway in. This chart is like the evolution of Western astrology, is human design. So what it does, it's like a snapshot of you, your original self, and how you are uniquely designed to move through the world, why you're here, right? So it gives you lots and lots of information to connect to your own inner authority, right? And make the right choices that are for you, that are unique to you. Because right now we're in this crazy conditioning field that's bringing us into like we're all going to be the Borg. I just watched this video today on they want to, they got this little petri dish for babies. They're going to start growing babies because we're having fertility issues, like things like that. You can see where that story is going, but we don't need to go down that line, that storyline. We can choose something different as spiritual people. So please don't give your power over to this consciousness, this dark consciousness. The dark consciousness is serving us to wake us up, to wake people up. That's what the dark is. And we live in a plane of duality, so we need both the light and the dark. But we get to choose. It's like, no, I'm not choosing this dystopian view, right? This story. I'm choosing this. And your storyline is going to be unique to you. It comes from deep within inside you. So that's what these tools are about. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So Lori, I talked about that and the 25. Maybe with the 20 I'll be able to, yeah, initiate something new, Stephanie. Yeah. But remember to look at your human design type, your aura type. Right? Okay. Being shocked, yeah. Yeah. Same, Sahej. I felt the shock too in 2011, 2012. Yeah. Okay. So Rachel Reed. So let's use this. Here's Rachel Reed. I love this, right? I got no job, I got no home, no social life, debt, blah, 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 blah. So this is the shadow of constriction. So what do you do with it? So what is your mind doing there, Rachel Reed? Because this is our battle, is with the mind. It's right. It's all about giving our authority from the mind to the soul. That's what's happening. There's a whole dismantling of the ego that's happening for this transition that we're moving through as a humanity. So your mind is interpreting. That's all it is, right? It's this is bad, this is good. That's what the mind does. It judges. This is bad, this is good. All these horrible things are happening to me. It's just an interpretation. That creates constriction in the body, right? And then you're constricting even more. Our thoughts have power. I have lack. That's what it's saying. I have lack and I'm not good enough. Like go deeper, right? Where those thoughts are coming from. I'm not good enough. I'm not enough. That's where it's really coming from, that identity. That's the ego identity, right? And so that creates constriction. So how do you work with it? You go to the gift. And the gift is I'm accepting. I'm accepting. I'm having a human experience. Right? I'm not going to let the mind make my decisions for me. It can complain and blame, right? That's constriction, blame and complain. Or I just accept my human experience and know that I'm learning something through this, right? So it's about whenever we have money issues, it means we're not valuing ourselves, right? So bring it back to the self. You're not going to change anything tinkering out here. It's all coming from each one of us, right? Your experience is coming. This is the root. It's to go inside and work with that, right? Your life is showing you that you're not valuing yourself, right? That you don't think that you're enough. You believe that, right? Jupiter's all about beliefs. So let the mind do its thing, but don't let it make its choices for you, right? This is about surrender and trust. You know, they're not just words. In the spiritual community, it can be nice sounding words. We have to live it. We have to be the embodiment of that trust in the divine. Yeah. Yeah, through the ringer. That's for sure. A lot of pain from the collective, yep. And this is the 25. That's a good, thank you, Reboir. Is the 25 is also connected to one of the primal wounds. There's 6 primal wounds. One of the primal wounds is shame. That's one of the third primal wound of humanity. We all have one that we work with according to our chart. Shame in the 25 is connected to this. Shame, so this is the sacred wound, right? So you can see our wounding actually leads us to love, right? This universal love is to accept that we're all wounded, right? Nobody gets away without coming in with pain and wound from our ancestors, right? This is what we're clearing up for the Aquarian age. So that's interesting, yeah, with the 25. You're right on it with the 25. It's about accepting whatever's going on in my life. I'm just going to accept it. I'm going to accept it. All I can do is control how I respond, right? Not react, but respond in moment by moment. Yeah. Okay, yeah, Kundalini Yoga is great. When I went through Christ and I started because nothing else was working. Yeah. Oh my God, you guys are so little mirrors for me. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Kundalini Yoga, the technology will work for sure. But you've got to commit. Yeah, and that's a good point, Revoir, about the emotions, and life itself is a wave. So sometimes it's like inner weather. You know how the weather changes? Like here on the island, there's crazy weather here. Storms and overcast, and now it's sunny, and it's so changeable. Well, we have our own inner weather patterns, and that's our emotions. So it's just letting them move, right? Sometimes you're down, and sometimes you're up, right? You can't cling to anyone. I can't be always up. That's what humanity wants. I want to feel good all the time without the feel. We need the contrast, right? We need this duality. So we learn just to ride those waves, ride that wave. But to feel, yeah. Yeah, shame. So, yep, okay. I don't know, Stephanie, if that's your primal wound or not. It's unconscious Mars, if that's shame, but shame is coming up, and that's how we get through the innocence. The thing is, when we're given these gifts, it's going to show us where we're not loving ourselves, where we're not accepting ourselves, right? So that we can clear it. Okay, so let's look at the unconscious mind here. So this is a meditation, one of my favorite meditations, this one, is to clear up the unconscious mind. Okay, so this is a Kundalini Yoga meditation. So the thing with the information age, everything, there's no secrets. We're seeing all the secrets coming out. And remember that spiritual knowledge has been hidden from us, hidden from the public, right? These tools even, right? This is a 5,000-year-old technology, Kundalini Yoga meditation. It wasn't taught openly, right? And for good reason, to protect it, to protect this knowledge. So what was I saying? So with the information age, everything is out there and there's no secrets. But now we need to bring the right the state of consciousness, right? And I just really feel like we need to with that 25, with the love of the self, is to really like want this. I want this in this lifetime. I want to be myself, my authentic self. I want to be with my soul. I want to do my soul purpose. I want to love myself. I want to love other people, right? So you got to get the discipline. You got to grab that. In our life right now, with the homogenization, the big carrot is about convenience. Oh, that's too hard, right? Don't do that. Watch some YouTube video, right? And there's so much talk about misinformation, spiritual misinformation out there too. Wanting the easy way, not the easy way. And how the divine is set up, it's like you got to want it. You got to embrace and accept your discomfort. That's what the 25 is teaching us too, to accept that it's discomfort. It's not comfortable to grow and evolve. But when you accept it, like I'm just going to accept this and I'm going to find this grit. And where's that grit coming from? It's not coming from the ego. The ego will give you 1,000,001 reasons not to do something, right? And to bail out and flake out. It's coming from your soul, right? You're coming from your soul. So that's what you want to grab onto. It's like, I'm just going to do this and I'm going to commit to this, right? So stick with this meditation, right? This meditation here. And this is a good one to practice for 40 days. I may edit it and like separate it. So if you want to practice it for 40 days. Okay. So let's talk about the mind, right? The mind, the layers of the mind. So we have our conscious mind, right? Our conscious mind. So you can look at that as a house. I like to look at it as a house, right? So the conscious mind is like the main floor, right? The main floor of the house. This is your conscious of your thoughts. Okay, I'm thinking about this, and my mind has commentary. It likes to have commentary on everything. This is bad, this is good, judgment, right? Judgment of others, judgment of the self, criticism of this, your thoughts in your mind. That's the conscious mind. And then you've got your subconscious mind, right? So that would be like the next floor down, the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is the storehouse of all your memories and your thoughts and your actions. We're so afraid of being under surveillance. Again, it's like as above, so below, because we're already under surveillance by our own self, by our own subconscious mind. We remember, right? We remember. And when we die, this is the movie people talk about. I saw my life flash by me, in a couple seconds. That's the subconscious mind downloading, right? So the subconscious mind remembers everything. It's memory. And the subconscious mind gets worked through in dreams. So if you're not processing and doing your inner work every day, and processing things like, there was something that happened today and I wasn't in integrity. I kind of went asleep there. I reacted. I'm not proud of my actions or my words. And you don't work through it, and you don't learn, and you don't grow. Then it gets from the subconscious. If you don't work it out in dreams, then it goes down into the unconscious. And that's down in the cellar, like the root cellar. And this is really difficult to access, right? So the subconscious mind is spilling into the unconscious mind. And so and you're saying, well, what's the big deal with that? Well, it's driving you and you're not even aware of it. It's unconscious. So when you go unconscious, which means go to sleep, forget who you are, forget why you're on the planet, you're just ruled by the ego and the mind, and you're in reaction in your life, projecting and blaming everybody else for your experience. You're in your unconscious mind, right? You're in your unconscious mind. So it really serves, especially now because we're being so pressurized, and with karma too, with our karma. This is karmic. Unconscious mind is very, very karmic. It's the phobias. You know, it's the deepest, deepest fears that you have that's driving you and driving your decisions and the choices you make in your life, driving your behavior, right? Even your behavior and your actions. Well, it's coming from this unconscious mind. So, and this is being made conscious, right? For the Aquarian age, this new age that we're moving into, is the unconscious is being made conscious. It's coming into the light of the day. And that's why we can see all this stuff out in the world, right? It's our collective unconscious as a humanity. So it's deep, deep, deep in there. So do you have that sense? Like, oh my God, I can't believe I woke up, like even last week, I was waking up every morning at 2:30 a.m., which is super early for me, just in terror and fear. And my thing is I don't let my mind go and try to create stories about it. Like, why am I so afraid? I've said, okay, is this my work? Here's my work to do. Right? So what do? I get up and I do my sadhana practice, right? And then it alleviates, right? Gets rid of this. Well, this is coming from the unconscious, coming from our ancestors, right? All this stuff. We're coming to a point that we haven't been before in humanity. Maybe not one of your ancestors in the past have been to this point. Maybe you yourself have not been to this point in all your lifetimes. It's going to bring up fear. Right? It's going to bring up a lot of fear. So this meditation is to unburden that, right? So unburden your unconscious mind, like take the pressure valve off, right? And bring it into the subconscious mind, and then you can work with it. Okay? So we've already tuned in with the Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Yeah. Okay. So just take a moment just to close your eyes. And I'm going to do this with you. And unfortunately, I can't use music because YouTube comes in and puts ads in the middle of it without my permission. So do it old school here today. So you want to close your eyes and just take a moment and set your intention, right? For that grit, to find that grit, that commitment for yourself, your own love of self, and acceptance. Bring those gifts in. And the intention, wherever the constriction is in your life, right? Well, the intention is to feel prosperous and abundant. The intention is to value and accept myself. Whatever it is for you. But the constriction in your life is going to show you where to set your intention. It's very powerful, right? Your intention. Because you're taking the steering wheel. Right? You're not being driven by your unconscious anymore. I'm taking the steering wheel in this lifetime. Okay. Okay. Let me get my timer out. Okay, so for this first exercise, this is going to be 11 minutes, right? So it's really reduced in time, so it's totally doable. We're going to start with chanting Hum Hum Brahm Hum. So this means we are one. So when you're chanting it, right, you're going to feel it in your heart. This opens up your heart chakra. And so with the subconscious mind, you can meditate, right? Because meditation is like soap for the mind. It cleanses the mind. Gives spaciousness. That's what the mind is spaciousness. But it gets buried down, right? With all these memories and beliefs and all that stuff. The chatter, right? All that chatter going on. And the chatter's keeping you from listening to your own insights, And your insights are coming from that deeper self, right? That deeper self. Your wisdom is coming from this place, not up here, right? But what happens is we get into the noisy radio in our head with the thoughts, right? The unconscious mind, like the internet, the World Wide Web, is a complete metaphor for that. That's the unconscious mind right there, right? It's just like, it's all about getting your attention. And we've got this algorithm, which is really the ego, right? Driving what we see and what we don't see, right? So you want to go deeper within. So this cleanses that noise so that you can really listen to your own inner guidance and your own insights. That's where your wisdom is for you. Remember, you're having your own unique path in this lifetime. It's not going to be like everybody else's. It may be similar in some ways, but it has to be unique to you. It's going to be unique to you, your way forward. Okay, so this is Hummy Hum Brum Hum. So we're going to chant this. And so you want to take your left hand and cover your left ear like so. And then you're going to bring your right hand up and just your fingers spread a little bit wide like that. And eyes are closed. Actually, your eyes are at the tip of the nose. So bring your eyes and stare at the tip of your nose. And you're going to chant Hummy Hum Brum Hum, Hummy Hum Brum Hum. Okay? So let's begin. So inhale to begin. Hummy Hum Brum Hum, 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 Brahm Hum. Hummy Hum 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 Brahm Hum. Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath and hold the posture. And squeeze all the muscles in your body. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And exhale through the open mouth. Again, inhale deeply through the nostrils. Suspend the breath and squeeze all the muscles in your body. Every cell in your body. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Tighten. Hold. And exhale through the open mouth. Again, inhale deeply through the nostrils. And squeeze all the muscles in your body. From the tip of your head down to the tip of your toes. And exhale through the open mouth. And just give your arms and elbow and fingers a shake. And bring your hands down. And eyes are closed and just relax for a moment. So just feeling your body. And bringing your attention to any tight areas in your body and just accept. Just accept whatever is going on inside. It's perfect. Right? Transformation doesn't happen until you accept. 100% accept myself. And my experience is perfect for me. And relax the belly. You want to bring more and more breath into your body. And inhale deeply. And exhale. Okay, so for the next exercise, you're going to bring your hands and close both ears off, right? And you'll be chanting Had Hare Hari Waheguru. Had Hare Hari Waheguru. And this is the cycles of creation and the ecstasy, the feeling of ecstasy of being merged with the divine. And this aligns your identity to true reality, which is you're a spiritual being having human experiences. Okay? So bring your hands, close off your ears, and follow along with me. And eyes are focused at the tip of the nose. And inhale to begin. Had Hare Hari Wahe Guru. 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 And inhale deeply through the nostrils. And suspend the breath. Tighten all the muscles in your body, even the temples, and your belly, and your arms, and your fingers, your legs, your toes. And exhale through the open mouth. Again, inhale deeply. Tighten all the muscles in your body. Tight, tight, tight. And exhale through the open mouth. And again, inhale deeply through the nostrils. And tighten all the muscles in the body. Tight, tight, tight. And exhale through the open mouth. And inhale. And exhale. And now you want to bring your arms out in front. Okay? And bring your arms up and down like this, patting the air. Just 5 more seconds. And inhale deeply. And exhale and relax your hands down. And this is the last part of the meditation. So you want to cover your face with your palms. Make sure that your eyes are covered like this, right? With your nose out so you can breathe. And you want to go into silence, right? So silencing the mind. Just go into silence. And it says, whoever masters the stillness and the silence receives all the knowledge of the universe. And breathing long and deep through the nostrils and quieting the mind. And inhale deeply. And exhale. So still with your eyes closed. Just have a moment and feel yourself. Accepting yourself. Accepting your life as it is. It's perfect for you on your spiritual journey as you learn and grow. You're in earth school and you're in lessons and you're learning to surrender to the divine. This has nothing to do with religion. It's the divinity within you. God is inside you. Right? And God, the divine, has made you perfect. You're innocent. You want to claim that. I'm claiming my innocence. As a child of the divine. And trust that all your material needs will be taken care of. Not on the mind's timeline, or what the mind wants it to be and not to be, but for you and your journey. So make that commitment to not interfere with your life, right? Don't interfere. It means entering into fear. Don't interfere. Just trust and surrender for this new Jupiter cycle. And everything you need is coming as required at the right time for you. Just relax the body. Let your body relax. That's what needs to trust, is your body. Your body is what's here in this present now moment. Not your mind, but your body. So give your body permission to relax and trust. Right? right? And if emotions come up, that's perfect for you. It's authentic for you. You don't need to hustle and hassle, not listening to the mind and the ego wanting you hustling and hassling, focused on the external. You want to be going within, deep within. That's where the peace is and the joy. So you want to make that commitment for this Jupiter cycle. I'm going to commit to be my authentic self. I'm going to commit to love and accept myself. I'm going to commit to let go of anything that's not authentic to me. That includes relationships that aren't aligned with me any longer, jobs that aren't aligned with me anymore, longer belief systems that are no longer aligned with me. And I believe in the self, my higher self. And inhale deeply. And exhale, and bring your palms together and bring them into prayer pose. So let's send a prayer out to everybody that's listening right now in this present now moment, maybe in a future present now moment. Send out a blessing. And now you receive the blessing. Claim your innocence and receive the blessing. And now let's send this energy out to our friends and family and community to remember. It's about remembering who we are. It's remembering that we're here to love ourselves first and then love each other. That's what's real. And then let's send this out to the planet. Friends and foe. Send it out to the foes too, and the enemies, the so-called enemies. They're all playing their part. Okay, so we're going to end with a one long Sat Nam. Okay, which means truth is my identity. Capital T, truth. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale to the base of the spine. Exhale. And inhale to close. Sat Nam. Sat Nam, everyone. So there's another hot tip. With mantra, man means mental, mind, and tra is vibration. So if your mind is acting up, you can start to breathe, like inhale Sat. Mentally, you can do it Sat, and then exhale Nam. That calms the mind, right? It calms the mind so that you can hear your deeper self. Okay, Sat Nam, you can do that. And just a reminder, my recorded readings are still 50% off, and you just type in empathy in the code. So this is helps the deconditioning process, because we're not just deconditioning our mind, it's our bodies, because we've been in this conditioning field. So this helps you to know what you're supposed to be eating, the type of environment you need to be in, the how you see the world, how you're designed to see the world, how your brain works, things like that. You can go in on my website and we'll give you more information about what you get, right? But it's based on your chart. And also the Sleeping Phoenix program is still 50% off. And that gives you real tools to go through this emotional detoxing period. So you're prepared for this new cross of the Sleeping Phoenix that's coming closer and closer every day, right? 2027, it's going to be fully online. Okay. So thank you, everybody, for showing up and sharing winter solstice with me. Okay? So have a great day or evening. And Satnam Aloha.